beautiful creatures. Just a quick card pull for you beautiful guys. If this resonates, please like, share, subscribe, and or pass it on to someone that you think it might find it useful. First message today is mountain. Make sure you guys are not perceiving things to be much larger than they are. Sometimes problems seem huge like a mountain, but sometimes we just need to step back and take a different perspective, because we're not seeing that we can scale that, climb it, go around it, go through it. Sometimes dragon's lair, for some of you, you probably feel like you're walking right into the dragon's lair at the moment, and there is a lot of dragon energy around. There's a lot of new awareness coming up with a heap of old dragon lore. For those of you that find that relevant, you can find resources for that on YouTube, and or the lore goes a lot deeper than that, but I won't delve into that right this moment. Field of dreams, make sure you are spending time, dream big. Make sure you're doing what makes you happy. Make sure you're not allowing people to make you feel small or think small. If you can dream it, you can create it. Rock bottom. Some of you probably feel like you're at rock bottom, or you're close to rock bottom. If that's how you're feeling, just remember, if that's as far down as you can go, the only way is up now. Don't let yourself get down. Don't beat yourself up about it. Just pick yourself up and dust yourself off and try again. Some of you may be expecting, may not be expecting, but may be having some unexpected visitors shortly. Don't be surprised. Quite often those of our spirit family or soul family or guides, even when we don't ask, sometimes they rock up right at the right time, which is quite often when we're in our mess or at rock bottom. Quite often they're the people that we really need. And if you're having a really, really rough time, there are many different resources. Even if you feel like you don't have anybody, just reach out. You can reach out on my platform if you need resources. I'm happy to, help however I can. Things sometimes get hard, and sometimes all we need is someone to talk to, or, to acknowledge the fact that we're going through something. And sometimes, just being heard can be enough. And I know for myself, that has its moments. I myself have had my moments where I've, been in a really dark place and just needed someone to lend an ear, and, that can make all the difference. If you embrace these unexpected visitors, you may end up flying. That could take many forms. You could literally end up flying, as in going somewhere new, traveling, and or it could help you to start flying, as in, get you off rock bottom, get you on your way again. Sacred pool. For a lot of you, you need to be spending time in your sacred space. And if you have gifts that are trying to come through and you are denying that, then you will probably find that, things are feeling a lot harder than they really should be. I know for myself, when my gifts first came through, it was extremely challenging, especially growing up in a family that was very black and white, very, this is reality and that is not. Unfortunately, that is not exactly how things work, but, not everyone is open to that. So there will be some resistance along the way. And for those of you that have those sorts of surroundings, just know there are other people out there like you, and there is a whole community like us, and that is okay. And if you need help or support, I'm sure even if it's not me, there are plenty of other people that would be more than happy to help and, support in any which way that we can. Stuck in the mud, some of you feel like maybe every time you go and try and spend time in your sacred space that you are getting stuck in the mud, and or you're feeling stuck in the mud. If you're feeling stuck in the mud, then, you know, obviously, instead of struggling alone, you know, much the same as quicksand, sometimes when you struggle, you know, it just digs you deeper. Instead, we need to kick back and heal the ouch. You know, a lot of us still have unhealed wounds, unhealed traumas. You know, I don't think I've ever met a person that doesn't have trauma of some form that they have needed to heal at some time. So, you know, that is normal, and making mistakes is how we learn. So, you know, that being said, just know that the people that truly love you will help you figure it out somehow. You know, spark. Don't let people dim your spark. Despite, you know, whatever situation you are dealing with, there is always going to be someone that is happy to help you keep your spark and or help you find it if you've lost it. Rescue. I don't know about you guys, but the whole victim, rescuer, perpetrator thing, it's not a me thing. I'm not a huge fan, and I don't appreciate people trying to pull me into their drama. And, you know, if people are, you know, projecting for whatever reason, and they are telling you that they need rescue, or they are acting as if they need rescue, then, you know, they obviously have a bit of their ouch to heal still, and you cannot help someone that doesn't want to help themselves, and you cannot grow if you stay in your comfort zone. So, aside from that, you know, each and everyone is individual and every choice is valid. So, you know, you can ride the wave through the storm fields, you know, because quite often healing is a bumpy ride, and it is very uncomfortable, and quite often it does feel like we are, you know, stuck in the middle of a storm, whatever that represents for you and whatever you're going through. Just know that, you know, a storm is a rough patch of weather. It very rarely ever lasts very long. As long as you can sit it out and you can survive, then, you know, you should be okay, and you should be able to pull through. And if not, I'm sure, you know, if your roof's been ripped off, then I'm sure somebody else, you know, has a roof you can borrow, and or a brolly or a raincoat, or just depends on the individual. And please excuse the metaphors, but you know, you're hearing me surely. Movement. You know, things don't change without movement. At the end of the day, the only constant is that everything changes. You know, that includes everything. So, you know, if you think that you can just sit in one spot for the rest of your life because you're comfortable and happy, that, you know, that's nonsense. And anyone that thinks that is probably a little deluded. Please excuse the rough statement, but it is what it is. You know, commitment. You can either commit to change and growth, or you cannot. And or some of you, this movement and this healing might also be creating a newfound love. You can see the beautiful couple there holding hands. You know, you might be committing to self-love. You might be committing to a new partner. You might be committing to a new job. You might be committing to, you know, growing. Whatever it is this represents for you, I wish you the best. And one more card, please, Spirit, to show us how this commitment's going to end. Oh, two instead. Okay, we've got intention upside down. So I'd say for those of you that are entering into a commitment, make sure that you are going in with the right intent, because intent is everything, you know, and what we put out there comes back to us threefold. Sometimes and some, depending. Karma is actually a thing. Compass, make sure you are headed in the right direction with your intent and this commitment, and everything will be fine. All right, peace, love, and light, guys.